Hello everyone, in this program we have a simple C++ program that demonstrates the concept of function. The code is written by me, Marian De Oliver, student from BSc MC1ADA. We start by including the IOStream library, which allows us to use input and output operations. Then we define a function called greet that doesn't take any parameters inside the function. We use the cout object to print the message "Greetings, fabulous people" to the console. Then L is used to insert a new line character. In the main function, we call the greet function. When we run the program, it will execute the greet function and print the message to the console. Then let's see how this works in action. So let's proceed on the second one. We have a C++ program that demonstrates the use of function parameters. We start by including the IOStream library, which allows us to use input and output operations. Then we define a function called divide that takes two integer parameters a and b. Inside the divide function, we perform integer division of a and b and restore the result in the result variable. We then use the cout object to print the result to the console along with the message the result is. Then L is used to insert a new line character. In the main function, we call the divide function with the arguments 100 and 10. This means that we are dividing 100 by 10. When we run the program, it will execute the divide function and print the result to the console. So let's proceed to the third one. We have a C++ program that demonstrates the concept of function overloading. So we always start by including the IOStream library. Ito ay isang pangunahing library sa C++ na nagbibigay sa daan sa atin na gamitin ang mga operasyon ng input at output sa pamamagitan ng pag-i-include ng IOStream library. Nabibigyan tayo ng kakayahan na gumamit ng mga importanteng objects tulad ng cout para sa output at sin para sa input. So we define two functions called greet. The first greet function doesn't take any parameters and simply prints the message greeting to the console. The second greet function takes a string parameter called name. Inside the function, we use the cout object to print the message greetings followed by the value of the name parameters and an exclamation mark to the console. The L is used to insert a new line character. In the main function, we call both versions of the greet function. First, we call the greet function without any arguments, which will print greetings to the console. Then we call the greet function with the argument dreamers and believers, which will print greetings dreamers and believers to the console. Let's run the program and see the greetings in action. So let's proceed to the C++ program that demonstrates the concept of recursion. We define a function called factorial that takes an integer parameter n. Inside the factorial function, we check if the value of n is equal to 0. If it is, we return 1 because the factorial of 0 is defined as 1. Otherwise, we recursively call the factorial function with the argument n minus 1 and multiply it by n. This recursive process continues until n becomes 0. In the main function, we call the factorial function with the arguments 31 and store the result in the result variable. This calculates the factorial of 31 using recursion. Finally, we use the cout object to print the message factorial of 31 is, followed by the value of result to the console. Recursion is a powerful technique where a function calls itself to solve a problem by breaking it down into smaller sub-problems. It is important to have a base case like when n equals 0 to prevent infinite recursion. So let's run the program and see the factorial of 31 in action.